Yeah, I don't knock him. I fuck with Kanye. At the end of the day, I don't like how he thinks sometimes, but I think he kind of realized he was tripping on his own merit. You know what I'm saying? But musically, I believe Kanye is gonna win against Pharrell. My opinion.
So what you think?
Pharrell's fire. He's the truth.
All right, well,
you want to switch up your? You can
don't
switch your
watch
pick
this
up if you
battle,
want.
nigga.
Nigga.
Nah, Pharrell's fire. Don't get it twisted. But Kanye, come on, man. Nah,
Listen,
niggas is gonna roll with Kanye. I ain't gonna hold you.
Brandon, if you get up there and play Happy, you going home, Jack. I'm telling you right now. If you play Happy, I'm gonna win for sure, son. I'm telling you right now, son.
Man, fuck all those battles. They got the real battle coming up. It's Beanie Man versus Bounty Killer. Now that's a real battle. Like all this bullshit going on.
None of that goat shit, nigga.
Nah, that's what's going on. More fire, more flame. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't want to see
that,
none of that
you tuning into
oxtail
that,
shit.
Brandon?
Hell no.
That one's gonna be the best one.
Only song I like,
live from Jamaica too.
That shit
Live
Only
from
song
Jamaica.
I ever liked was that Girl Dim Sugar.
Look, you don't even know about the Dance Hall King. You have no input. You don't know about the Dance Hall King. Bounty, Beanie,
What the fuck that nigga shit done by down in that ball. King of the dance hall. What was that bullshit? Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here, man.
Yo, check this out, man. We live, man. For cultural purposes only. Brandon ain't with the dance hall battle, man. I wonder how that's gonna turn out.
I like the faking shit. I'm with that shit.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be the livest one. Keep it a buck.
Fun. They gonna have fire, nigga. What you know about fire?
Literally.
Real talk.
For real.
Real talk. They gonna have fire. They definitely gonna have fire though. You know, regular Mike here in the building as usual. Y'all good?
Mm-hmm.
We live.
We always live. I was just, don't mind me. I just got sent these black girls jumping this white woman, and I never seen this before. It was like bugged out. I never seen this shit before in my life. It's black women, and they got their kids in the parking lot. I guess there's something which might hit their car, but the white lady called them a nigga. So now the two black women, of course, they're gonna attack. But then they babies is running around the white bitch hitting her upside her head.
Oh, I think I saw that. Oh, that's old.
I've never seen that. I'm sitting there like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's old. I think I saw that before.
I've never seen a white woman get jumped. That's bugged out to me. It just fucked me up for a moment. I'm like, huh? Oh shit. What's going on, guys?
I don't know what the fuck happened to Brandon, man. He skated. We talking about the dance hall shit a little too much, I guess.
Corona vibes.
Corona vibes. He back. We live for Coach U. The guys is back. We ain't had an episode in a couple weeks, but we back. We live. You know what I'm saying? First things first. Peace Kings.
What's the word? What's good, man?
Niggas always funny.
You seen his face change up?
You got stand up for shit like this, Mike.
No, I had that shit in the tuck for a minute. I said, "Oh, next time it's lit, nigga."
You need $1? You need $1, Michael? You want $1? What you want?
Nigga say is not with it, B.
Get the fuck out of here. You want $1? Nigga about to ask for a loan. Talking about Peace King. Don't build me up to bring me down, nigga. Get the fuck out. Try to build me up to bring me down. Yo, Peace King. Yo, get the fuck away. Don't get me started with that shit.
Listen,
Manipulation.
Man, we got a salute to the God, Malcolm X. His birthday just passed. He'd have been 93 years old.
95.
95?
Yes. Like the Air Max.
I stand corrected. 95. They don't celebrate his birthday like they should. You know what I mean?
Niggas is cowards, in my opinion. But
his name ain't on the calendar or nothing. You know what I'm saying? That shit's foul.
You know why? The only thing I got to say about Malcolm, because the shit really break my heart when you see all the documentaries and shit like that. Like, ego and jealousy is a motherfucker. And when you believe in something and someone, you gotta be careful about what you put your power into. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're a powerful nigga like him and you don't really understand how powerful you are, and when I say powerful, I mean as an individual, he's speaking in different nations and representation of us as a whole. And I don't even think people was, and he didn't have no political stance. He wasn't like with any political party. He's doing this shit by himself, broke. You know what I'm saying? With babies and all that shit. But he felt like he had to speak out and try to uplift us in a whole, in the fact that your owner take you down because of an ideology. It's kind of twisted. It's kind of fucked me up. Even when you're saying like, Nick, it's like the only way that a person could, it then of course, excuse me, because I get emotional about it. Of course, the white man gonna plant the seed. He see that there's a divide, and all he's gonna do is plant the seed and fuel the fire. And then look, niggas carry out the dirty deed on their own. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of bugged out. Meaning the guy in Jersey, if one of the brothers, if you've seen that documentary, one of the brothers that actually the shotgun man that actually shot Malcolm, that motherfucker died peacefully in his community. He was revered. He and all that shit. Nobody. And when people brought up the Malcolm X shit, niggas just like, oh. And that's kind of like what black people do. Like, they be like, don't talk about that. He's a good man. Like, what?
I was surprised to see so many docs coming out, like, out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the nation, they ain't backing them shits at all. They said it's not really it's not factual what they putting out. And you know, in today's world, people see these documentaries and they consume these shits and they consume them to be fact.
I mean,
so that shit is dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
especially with the youth.
In my opinion, with that shit with the nation, you got to take everything as anything coming from any other individual. You got to take with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? Like, when motherfuckers got interior motives and objectives. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, the Nation of Islam at that time, the motherfuckers praised Elijah like more than I think they praise the actual word. They praised the person. So any deformation of character to his image was like sin. So the fact that Malcolm spoke up on certain things that he didn't agree, that wasn't right and exact, that you teaching and that you professing, and then when I speak on these things, I get ostracized. And then even when I humble and belittle myself and beg for you to let me back in the nation, you fucking spit in my face. I told you niggas was trying to kill me, and they set my house on fire. You get on the TV and you tell these fucking crackers, oh, Malcolm probably did it himself. Now you going too far with the ego tripping bullshit.
I think once he was made the national speaker, he was doomed. Because what happens is Elijah's followers started to idolize and follow him. Even his own son,
they started
said,
going word.
And he said to him, he goes, "You're my father," to Malcolm. I think, listen, when people compare Martin and Malcolm, there's two different ideologies.
We spoke on it before.
Right. And Malcolm, for his time, I think he was needed. I think he's actually more so. I think he's needed now. Ironically, I think he's needed now. But
he was the one.
He was the one. And
they let ego kill that nigga. Like, I can't even fathom that shit. Like, it's like with niggas in the street.
Well, again, when you dealing with yo.
No, I mean, yeah, we here, B.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No, we with you.
Okay. When you're in a situation where you have a nation that prides itself on discipline, on, you know, just a regiment, just character, and then you find out the shit's not true. And when he found out it wasn't true, a lot of the beliefs and, like, you know, how are you telling me, you know, tell everyone that, you know, to follow us and be pure, and you got 50 million kids out there talking about Elijah.
Shit, but then you're not even owning up to him. You got 16
but you're not owning it. Right. There were certain things that he found out that made him think, listen, I didn't become a Muslim for this. I became a Muslim because I wanted to lead the people in the right way. I live the right way, and I want this to be spread out. And like I said, when you thought of a Muslim, it no longer became Elijah Muhammad. It became Malcolm X. And anytime someone can transcend religion or whatever sport, whatever, and they become transcended, they become a threat. This man was meeting with kings and prime ministers and world leaders, but he didn't own his own home. There was something wrong with that.
You know, that kind of
it's control.
That kind of has me thinking about where y'all stand with that book 48 Laws of Power, because I know one of the laws was never outshine the master.
It's bullshit. That shit is all bullshit. It's manipulation.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like
definitely,
certain
it's manipulation.
Certain shit makes sense, but certain things are not prevalent for you to be successful in the grand scheme of life. You know what I'm saying? So like when like it's crazy. The original big baller, original real estate ballers. It's a guy that I shout out to my man, original real estate ballers. I kick it with him, and I met him through Instagram. Though it's crazy, you meet people through Instagram. But me and him be kicking it here, older dude, and he spoke on certain topics like that. Like you can't really like get caught up in the person. You gotta be focused on the message and what you're trying to obtain from like you can't get caught up in the individual. Period. And that should be known with any walk of life that we're dealing with. But people want to gravitate and attach themselves to certain things in the physical, as opposed to knowing that it's within you, and you got to manifest that energy. And what that person's saying, and you listen, you take heed, and you manifest that in your actions. You don't actually fall in love with the individual. That's what's wrong with religion. But we're not going into that shit. They take the power from themselves and put it in something else. When it's all inside of you, you got to learn how to tap into that inner who you are and manifest that in the physical. So like, and I'm not knocking nobody and shit like that, but sometimes when a person has a word or a message or even an image, people grab like, all right, let's dumb it down to Megan Stallion girl. Now you got young ladies that just gravitate to her imagery. You know what I'm saying? And they want to copy and mimic that, and because she's a strong presence. Now, regardless of what she's bringing and what she's talking about, but the fact that she has that energy, people gonna follow that energy. Energy never dies. You know what I'm saying? It just gets transferred and it moved around and things of that nature, but it doesn't die. So like the energy he had, I say all that to say this: the energy Malcolm X brought to the game and what he was bringing to people, it was bigger than the individual, and they couldn't accept that shit. That shit was.
Well, that's why I said that he transcended religion.
No, you're right. And back to the point what you saying about he ain't own his home, because they wanted control. They wanted to control.
Right. No.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like manipulation, and that's that corny shit.
Right. As far as to Mike's point or Mike's question, the purpose of teaching is you teach someone how to do something, and hopefully they do it just as good or better than you, so then they can teach the next person.
There you go.
So I think that law is kind of I don't want to say it's contradictory, but it kind of doesn't make sense, because if I teach my son how to drive, I want him to be the best driver there ever was. If I teach him how to read, I want him to become a scholar. If I teach him math, I want him to become a mathematician. If that's what he wants to do, or an accountant, or anything dealing with numbers. He could be a physicist. Anything dealing with numbers.
But you're not going to stunt his growth so you could be over him or keep him at a certain fucking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to teach you, but I'm going to teach you a little bit so you don't get too advanced, nigga. Like, that's that devil shit.
So
I guess there's a lack of selflessness that's really in high abundance probably in America. You know what I mean?
And that's what he had. He had a high level of selflessness.
Brando just touched on it. That's why he died. He knew he was going to die that day. He didn't give a fuck. And how many people not going to give a fuck?
Yeah,
nigga not going to give a fuck and know that they're going to die. But I got to speak my truth to the people.
Listen, Dr. King knew. If you listen to the speech that he gave, like I think it was the night before.
Yeah.
Right, the night before. Mm-hmm. He had a premonition when he said, I might not make it to the mountaintop with you. I might not make it there.
You just said.
So I believe that it takes a certain type of human being, and it takes strength to know, listen, I'm not going to see my vision play out.
Facts.
And I'm going to sacrifice myself for the greater good.
Facts.
And I think Malcolm,
in pure form right there.
Right. And I think he and Malcolm, I think they went about it different ways, but they both sacrificed.
After they had that discussion with each other, they understood.
Right.
They understood what each other's meaning and cause was.
But don't get it twisted though, because if you listen to, it was an interview that Martin Luther King had in, I think it was like 1967, so it was the year before he died, about the plight of the urban black man. He spoke about, like, you know, financial thing, like, you know, listen, racism, see, people think racism is totally about, or bigotry is totally about race.
Shit down, break that shit down. Word is born. Classism, all that shit.
Classism, but it's not. If you look at the way racism really started, it was really financial. It's all about money. It's money.
Everything's about money, man.
Right. It morphed.
Everything stems from money.
Right. But it morphed into race. But originally, it was class, labor. And it, like I said, to make it seem like, well, how do we get, in other words, okay, well, how do we make them believe that they're slaves? Well, we have to make ourselves seem like we're better than them.
Oh, that shit, there you go. Well, you get deep with that aspect, because that's where church and that's where religion,
and that's where religion comes in. And I think
because they meant
right,
manipulate you and control you from that aspect. It's just
right.
Sad.
And a guy like Malcolm was basically saying, look, you can't follow this religion because look what it's done past, at that time, 350 years. Look at what it's done. If you follow that religion, where's it guiding you? You follow this religion,
that's a fact.
You have an example of strength, discipline, love, intelligence. I embody that. And I think what happened with Elijah Muhammad was he looked at him and said, this is everything I want to be, until he found out all of his flaws. But something that I've learned is every great man has great flaws.
Of course. Every great the individual. You listen to the word. The individual, everybody's a human. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You can't get caught up in the human aspect of a person. You listen to the word, you take the truth. That's why you decipher everything. You know what I'm saying? That's why we came to the north of the wilderness of North America. I say all that to say this though. But when people with power though, it's kind of twisted, because then, like, do you love what got you the power, or do you love the power? See, that's my gripe. That's my only gripe. Well, like, even with like Elijah, all right, y'all killed Malcolm, but then what? Y'all killed them for what? So you could stay in the realm that you're in that facet, or like, what was the purpose? Like, you use just so you don't get bumped off. You know what I'm saying? Because then at the end of the day, it's kind of crazy, because then it's just like with Pharaoh. It's, you know what, I'm gonna keep it real with you. The whole, and I don't got nothing against the Nation of Islam, but it don't make no sense to me. My only gripe with them is like, the motherfuckers, they generate their own revenue. They got their own businesses. They got their own newspaper they have for years. They have housing. They have different things, but they getting all this money for what? For themselves, to stay at a pinnacle or wherever the fuck? I don't really know what it is, because I really thought they were supposed to get the money so they could have a mosque in every black and brown neighborhood and help the neighborhood.
Here's something that I've learned. Power isn't necessarily inclusionary. So when you have people in power, their main objective is to keep that power. And if you allow everyone in, if you allow people to enter into that realm,
to flourish,
it's a possibility. It's a possibility that not even just flourish, they can usurp you.
Yeah.
So a guy like Elijah Muhammad, remember, he built the Nation of Islam. That was his baby. That was him. He built an entire religion, or the Nation of Islam. It was just him. And then he handpicked this guy, and he made the right choice to lead or be his national speaker, which means he was given a message from Elijah Muhammad. He was basically speaking for Elijah Muhammad. So when the people started to follow Malcolm, and Malcolm became a star, a lot of people had a problem with that. Not to mention, he would say things that to most Americans, whether they're black or even white or sometimes black, that was controversial. When President Kennedy got killed, and he said the chickens would come home to roost,
baby.
that was seen as inflammatory. Like, how could you say that? This man just lost his life.
I don't even think people understand how pivotal that for him to say that at that day and time.
Right.
I don't even think people understand that shit. Like, people bugged out, and it's crazy how imagery, and they drain you with content now, and they fuck you up.
So think about how he said that, man. He said what he said, and yes, he was condemned by white people, but it was even more hurtful that he was condemned by the guy that he looked at as the God. Like, listen, you can't say that. You shouldn't say that. Mind you, the Nation of Islam was known for being strong and strong-willed and not really caring. Like, listen, this is who we are. So to say, listen, I shouldn't have said that. Well, what about the other 300-400 years that they've been persecuting us? Now, am I supposed to care? His issue was he said it to the national, right? He said it to the national media, and they didn't know what to do with it because they couldn't necessarily refute it. You can't refute. And again, I'm someone that I've been following President Kennedy since I was a kid. Like, my favorite movie of all time is JFK. So the dude, he wasn't a bad dude. He just happened to be rich and white. You know what I'm saying? So when they killed him, they could have got anybody. Listen, Medgar Evers was shot and killed a few months before that. So for some, as a black man, especially back then, how could I feel sorry for this man? Even if I thought he was a cool guy. When Medgar Evers got killed less than 6 months ago, and the nation didn't shed a tear.
That's the point I was making, B. Thank you.
Right.
That's the point I was making, B. Good looking, G. They planted that seed of fear in the black community from way back then. Any person that looked like us that spoke up and said something, they killed you. So niggas don't really want to be revolutionary no more. Niggas don't really want to stand up no more. They don't even subconsciously in their mind, it's embedded. They don't even really understand why they don't. I ain't really into that. But you'll see niggas go kill a kid in the street for no fucking reason. You'll kill your own. You niggas will kill their own. Rest in peace to the young man that died, Nick Blicky. You know what I'm saying? Nick Blicky, that dumbass. They beefing out there in Brooklyn, and they making it bigger than what it needs to be. And now niggas is losing their life over stupid shit, but you won't go kill no cracker though. You won't go kill, excuse my how I may put it, you won't kill nobody that don't look like you. But anybody that look like you ready to go murder. You ready to go run down on. So it's just crazy how they planted and reverted the seed of fear in black people, because then you seeing imagery of that for years on there. Every nigga that stood up, they shot down. So kind of subconsciously in your mind, you got to think people really don't really want to push back no more.
Well, I'm glad you said that. Tupac said something. He said, listen, by the time, if you listen to Kendrick album, remember at the end, on Mortal Men, or was it Mortal Men?
Immortal Men.
Right. Tupac, he said, like, listen, by the time a black man is 30, he's tired. He doesn't want to fight. Like, when you're 18, you got all this energy, right? But America beats it out of you. Sometimes literally, sometimes figuratively, but they beat it out of you.
You be depressed, and then you be down. You be trying to all kind of shit. Nah, it's real shit.
And I think back to Malcolm X, he still had that energy, and he was becoming more and more like, listen.
I'm glad you said that.
It's funny that they got him when they got him, because he had become a lot less aggressive.
But you remember know what he took his Hajj. He went to Mecca. He went to the holy city Mecca, and he built with other people. So he gave him a broader outlook on life, which we all need. But you know what the point that that you made, that with the energy that was so deep, what gave him energy in his latter years, because he was like our age, a little bit. He was younger before he died. But what I'm saying is, what gave him so much energy was that he was reborn through knowledge.
Well, he died at 39.
People, he reborn himself through knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now, oh shit, I was dumb, deaf, and blind in my younger years. I had to sit down. Sometimes you gotta take a step back to move 2 steps forward. And when he got knowledge of self, he couldn't stop. It was a rap. It was nothing stop. This is what it is. This is who we are. This is how we gonna do it. Come on.
Well, listen. When you have a mission, it's very hard to reverse course or stop midway. There's no way he could have just said, you know what, I'm out. Because at that point, he understood that if I stop now, if I keep going, a white person is gonna get me. And if I stop now, a black person is probably gonna get me for stopping.
Or they're gonna look at me like, you full of shit, nigga. Fuck you and all that shit.
Right. So I have
no. Gonna lose all that momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I have no recourse. So he knew. Listen, this is my life. I gotta go all out, and that's what he signed up for.
And you know,
but my issue.
What's up? Talk.
My issue with that is, it doesn't work for other people. So in other words,
don't got it in them. Everybody don't got that in them.
Well, what I mean by that is, he couldn't stop midway. But there've been plenty of leaders on the other side that, if you'd have came in with a check, or if you would have came in like, listen, your life's on the line, they could quit, pack their bags, and go home, take their ball and go home.
Mm-hmm.
And he wouldn't have been afforded that reality. Same thing with Martin.
No, go ahead. What you saying? Same thing with Martin?
Same thing with Martin. He wasn't afforded that reality.
But you know, when I speak of them and I start thinking about that time and those men that were all dealing with each other, I was watching the shit. Actually, was it yesterday or today? See, what people don't realize though, what the entertainers were doing, they were funding the political parties or the people that were the activists. You know what I'm saying?
Sam Cooke.
There you go, my nigga Sam Cooke. There you go, B. And see how they killed Sam.
Killed
Sam in the fucking hotel. You know what I'm saying? But then people just looked over there. Oh, he got killed. And they justified the murder. But niggas don't realize that bitch was a prostitute. And they had her they had her wrapped up on some other charges. So this was like, yo, you gotta go out with him. How they plant people on niggas, kill the nigga. But see, they wanted him dead because Sam was taking his money and making everybody pool their own money together so they could have their own record company and they could have their own publishing and shit. What niggas don't do now. We make the music.
It's funny you say it. It's funny you say that because to a lesser degree, that's still going on today.
No, it is.
Andrew Gilliam. Remember, that was the senator from Florida, the black dude.
Yeah.
He got caught up in a hotel room with some coke.
He was with some boy coochie.
Yeah.
He was with some boy coochie. Like that.
Yeah,
like,
he got.
Young Buck, you see Young Buck get caught up out there? Man. So
he got caught up.
He was like his boy coochie on Twitter. Yo, he was like that. Oh, niggas caught him. Caught all his life.
And he got caught up.
Nah, hold on.
And it was a plan.
What's wrong with that nigga, man? I gotta get closer to the camera. What's wrong with that nigga, man? Why he liking gay porn, God? What's wrong with that nigga, God?
I don't know, man.
My thing is, though, you go get a burner account, Young Buck, if you want to be a fruity nigga like that.
How about you just don't like it so everybody can see it?
No, Mike. Some niggas need to live their truth.
He like boy coochie.
No, what I'm saying is don't hit like. Nigga,
like,
just see it.
He like it. The nigga might lick the screen. He want the nigga on the other end to know he like it. That's what he want that nigga to know, like, oh, I like it. I want you to know I like it. Like. Like,
all right,
shit,
so my point was
step all on your shit.
Yeah. So my point was, before this nigga went off on his tangent.
Nah, I'm just saying, that shit bugged me out. Young Buck really gay. Oh shit, and I'm not mad, but come on, bro.
Salute to the brother Malcolm on his birthday, though, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, salute to Malcolm. And fuck that nigga Michael Jordan. Yo, Jordan's a bitch. And I like Jordan. Nah, I like Mike. I ain't gonna hold you up. I like that, all that shit. But dude, at the end of it, yo, you really was a whole ass nigga for this white man. And the white man hit you with the toodaloo and left and went and got 3 more chips while you sitting there with your hands on your hip looking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Mad at the world. Then you go get the motherfucking Bobcats and you ruin the Bobcats. You don't even know how to run a team.
You can't ruin shit that was already fucked up, man.
But yo, that's the funny shit about Mike. Nigga said Mike, only thing Mike know how to do is play ball. Then everything else he trash at golf, trash at college, he trash at everything else. All he know how to do is play ball.
He can't dress. Don't forget he can't dress, nigga.
Can't dress, he can't do shit. Mike can't do shit but play ball. And then he got swindled out of basketball by a white man. Can't believe it. Nigga broke my heart with that shit. Nah, I'm about to take my shirt off. He got me hot with that shit.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, you know what I mean? Last Dance documentary, you know, it just ended not too long ago, but he couldn't control that. Like, that's where we run into with this owner thing with the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only but so much that the players can control at the end of the day.
Hold on. I think them niggas was hoes back in the day, and they like to obey Whitey. Them young boys nowadays, they be like, yo, fuck that. Trade this whole team or I'm not playing. I'll sit out right now. Them young niggas is going to put the press on you. Andrew, I just seen, what's that nigga that's on the that was on the Pelicans, that's on the Lakers now? What's the nigga name?
Anthony Davis.
That nigga put the whole Pelicans under duress. Listen, I ain't coming back. Y'all trash. I'm going to Lakers, man. Oh, you don't think I'm going to LA? Watch what happens.
Listen,
LeBron sunk the Cavs with that mentality. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot of niggas paid.
True indeed.
Look, man.
You gotta take your power and but then look at D Wade. D Wade never left. Some niggas is going to take look, at the end of the day, you gotta take ownership and control of your name. Because them crackers gonna take control of your name and they're gonna use and manipulate it to the best.
Listen, that's a fact, but you also gotta understand that somebody had to lay the groundwork for that.
No, that's a fact. No, you're right.
So,
he had to pay dues.
So when people look at the Last Dance and look, this taught us, and we already knew that Michael Jordan was flawed, but we're all flawed. His issue basically was he didn't speak out enough. But if you look at that time,
nobody was speaking out.
Nobody spoke out.
But then it's bugged out. You Jordan, you could beat up your teammates. You can't talk about speaking out. He's shooting pennies across the fucking wall. He's cursing at Scott Burrell. You're weird shit. I'm gonna tell you.
That's a fact.
You're an alcohol. He could say he had the whole team scared. You seen on the airport, on the airplane, them niggas looking like, oh man, Mike coming. Niggas scared to death, grown ass bitch.
Right, but that was between the lines. We didn't know about that until now.
No, you're right. But then my thing is like why he didn't think next level. I think he was more like an individual, and that goes to show you even like when they wanted him to support that candidate for governor. Like he was on his individual shit, and at some point you mad 20 years later. Oh man, I wish I could have. You still haunt.
But hold up, but he did make a donation though.
The donation don't matter, bro. Your presence and who you are and what you stand. Just him standing by certain shit, because he's Michael Jordan, and people are so infatuated with this nigga. Would have made a whole other difference. Would have made.
Here's the thing, though.
Oh, no, go ahead.
But here's the thing. The one thing I gotta give Jordan is he is authentic. He doesn't care.
No,
remember,
he don't.
If you watch the documentary, he was like, "Listen, I didn't feel comfortable. It is what it is." When they asked him about the gambling, my father and I, it is what it is. Baseball, he said, "Yo, my father said I was right. Everybody else, I don't care. So he's unapologetic about who he is and what he stood for. He even got emotional when they asked him about, do you think you were a bully? He said, this is the way that I played. If you don't want to play that way, that's you. Break. And he started crying.
So at the end of the day, he was true to self, which you got to respect.
Yes, he was true to self.
The bully shit ain't it. You got to be a bully to give you where you at.
But look at how he's revered, though.
Everybody don't have enough discipline, so you got to be a bully. If we in a group,
there's different ways to lead.
And I'm working every day, and we in a
I know
group.
where that's coming from, guys.
Y'all niggas is on some sideline. Yo, man, come the fuck on. Yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be annoying. I'm gonna be the one in your face. That's if you want to win, and this is my team. This is what we got to do for us to win. So I don't get mad at that. I get mad at the aspect of like, damn, bro, you didn't realize that it was you. Like, you didn't even realize that you were Jordan. Because you're leaving the power to this fat nigga that y'all cracking on, and you're leaving the power to this nigga. I'll leave this team. I'll go play with the nigga. I'll go play with the Nuggets right now, nigga. You crazy? I'm Jordan. I'll go play with anybody. I'll go leave right now, nigga. Who you think you talking to? I'll leave right now. You gotta understand, he was getting $100 million a year before anybody was getting that shit.
Stop right there. That's the point. He had leverage with Nike and Gatorade and movies and all that other stuff. So he didn't have to say, Krause, I'm leaving. He knew eventually he was going to get paid. He was making hundreds of millions of dollars off the court. So for him, at that time, now mind you, without Michael Jordan, and this is not, I'm not being biased or funny, LeBron James' brand wouldn't be what it is.
That's a fact.
Jordan. Now, people may say, well, he was indifferent and he was uncontroversial, and right. There was a method to that because he amassed his wealth, and now he can spread that wealth. He could empower Black people financially. Because what people don't understand is this. This is something that drives me crazy. Yes, words are powerful, but remember, actions make words meaningless or meaningful. If Jordan was just written, he didn't empower anyone, and he didn't hire Blacks, and he didn't do this, that's one thing. But he has done that. Now, because he doesn't jump in front of the camera and say, fuck Whitey, and fuck this one, and I don't care. He's being judged for it now. But back then,
I don't think he's being judged behind that. I think he's being judged by.
He is.
Nah, I don't think so, bro. When you a billionaire and you rich off of everything else, but you still invest in jails, the fuck is wrong with you?
But that wasn't him.
But wait a minute. But then you don't want to be political. So then you got.
But that wasn't him. That's the problem. That wasn't. No, that was another dude named Michael Jordan. They confirmed it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So what happens is the media. I'll say this. I think the Black media, some of them.
No, they lean on it. That's true too. They lean on it.
They'll look at Michael Jordan and say, well, LeBron, he endorsed Hillary Clinton, and LeBron said, LeBron is in a space to do that. I hate Stephen A. with a passion.
I don't hate him, but he's annoying. I know what you mean.
He's a bozo.
Stephen, come on. He's cool, man. He a little rambunctious.
No.
But he's a exuberant.
We'll get into that in another episode. I'll explain to you why. But he did make a solid point. It's something I thought of, but he said it. He said, everyone looks at the LeBrons and the Chris Pauls and the Melos and all these guys. They've already made it. Mm-hmm. LeBron is probably worth $500 million, give or take. I'd say probably closer to 4, but he's close to almost
worth more than that.
$500 million. I'm just talking about his net worth.
Right. Worth
That's
more
it.
than I ain't gonna hold you up.
So
anyway, go ahead,
what the hell does he have to lose? In 1991, Jordan wasn't worth $300 million.
He was headed there.
So my point,
he couldn't be sure of his ascension.
Right. Exactly. He was a send-in. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, we got to look at the time. And not to mention, it's fashionable now for niggas to speak out.
Yo, I feel you, B, but then, yo, Elijah Muhammad. Excuse me.
And some people, wait, hold up.
I'm a little tipsy. Muhammad Ali, though. Muhammad Ali was rambunctious.
Fair.
And he was yo, when you win, they gonna have to stand next to you anyway. I'm a winner.
But even he, boy.
So even when I speak out, though, that nigga went to jail behind that shit.
Listen, no. Right. But listen, you talk about being bamboozled. How can we bring up Elijah Muhammad?
I mean, Muhammad Ali.
Oh, so you scratching Elijah Muhammad, right?
No, yeah, Muhammad Ali. Muhammad.
Oh, all right. So Muhammad Ali, yes, he was outspoken. But remember, he turned his back on Malcolm. But
that was corny. Yeah. But that was we touched on that because people are infatuated with Elijah at that time. They was infatuated with the human person. So we caught that.
Now listen, yes, Ali went to jail. Yes, Ali stood up for what he believed in. And you want to know something else that Ali didn't have the fortune to have to deal with? Millions of dollars. At that time in the 60s, they weren't making millions upon millions of dollars.
Money is the root of all evil at the end of the day.
If you're telling me that Muhammad Ali turned down 50, in other words, Dave Chappelle walked away from $50 million, from what they say. If you telling me that Muhammad Ali walked away from $70 million, $80 million, he's the greatest nigga in the world, or the dumbest, depending on how you look at it.
So that wasn't the case, though.
Right. So for me,
we don't know the earnings that they prevented him from making when they
true, true. But I know it wasn't. I know it couldn't have been more than 10 million. So
not in the 60s.
Yeah. So to me, when people look at the LeBrons and I want to make sure
$40 million.
And now he made it up on the back end because you remember as he went along, he became beloved. So
but you see, I'm not even trying to cut your wisdom, but like when money is more prevalent than what the purpose is, we all gonna die anyway.
Right.
We're gonna die. We're gonna leave anyway. So like I think about, I think like a nigga like Bob Marley. He was like the illest nigga to me. That nigga money. He gave his money. He didn't give a fuck about no money. He gave his money.
I'm glad you said that because Ali is remembered fondly. He's on the right side of history. So he took those stances. He's on the right, and he, like I said, he made it up on the back end. Remember, if you'd have told somebody in 1968, Muhammad Ali is going to hold the Olympic torch in 1996, they'd have looked at you like you were crazy.
Nuts, boy.
Sure. Right. So time was his friend. I think it might work in reverse for Jordan. I think time, as far as that's going to be his enemy, because God willing, LeBron lives a long time. I think he's going to venture even more into these areas.
And as a human being, noble human being.
And Jordan,
you ain't do shit. At the end of the day, history.
You know what? I'm going to compare it to this. I think Jordan's going to look more like Jackie Robinson and Joe Louis. For real. And I think LeBron's going to look more like Ali.
I don't even think niggas is going to catch that one, Jackie Robinson. Niggas
they not.
Niggas ain't going to catch that one. Niggas hated
They not.
Bitch ass nigga.
Right. I think he's going to wind up looking more like that.
Look at Jackie
LeBron's going to look like
yeah, he's a bitch, nigga. You fucked it up, nigga. We had our own league. Then you got a nigga like that. Nigga had their own league. Niggas had their own.
I'm talking about as he got older. Because remember, as he got older.
But I'm just talking about the actual what ticked me off with Jackie. Y'all had your own shit. Niggas always think they need the white niggas approval. They need somebody they need this white man to do something to get to the next level. I don't really necessarily agree with that. I never seen
I don't think it was a need. I think it was more of a step to empower. In other words, when you're in a situation, you know, where we're considered the minority. So obviously the majority has more. So we can collaborate with the majority. That'll help us from within to branch out to get our own. And I think people miss that sometimes. It's not so much a need, like, yo, a feeling like, yo, we gotta have, or we gotta, nah, it's a smart move. The NFL merged with the AFL. Why? Because they understood, look, they taking some draft picks, top guys, got top guys more, they're seen as more fun. So they said, fuck it, we still in power. We gonna buy the AFL. We gonna merge with them. It made sense. And you see what you have today. It's the most popular league in the world.
It all boils back to the concept and the point I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, it's just like the local I work for, Local 3. Niggas realize that's why motherfucking, I can't remember this nigga name right now. This motherfucker that started Local 3, he had a whole sit down in a meeting with Martin Luther King. At the end of the day, he realized I need black and brown people. I need black people. You need black people. And black people don't realize you need us, but they need us. We need us. So until you realize that, look, the NFL wouldn't be the NFL if they ain't had no black people, my nigga. You have a bunch of fucking white niggas running around doing fucking punts all day.
Oh, well, that's a separate argument, man.
You know, like, if there wasn't any black people in the NBA, there wouldn't even be an NBA.
You're a fact, but that's a separate argument.
I'm just saying, it wouldn't be certain things without our input and influence. And until we realize, I think like LeBron and the people nowadays are realizing their power and their influence and what they have and what they bring to the table, and that's why they letting their nuts in. White niggas don't like that shit, and old black niggas is upset like, oh, you're not doing it right, whatever the case may be, because they taking the power in their own hands as opposed to letting this white man dictate my life, and then he's going to fucking make us all burn our fucking dreams in a pile, and then we're going to all let go, and this is the last dance, and it's going to swindle us to fucking ride off in Las Vegas, in LA, whatever the fuck, that was fucked up.
Wait, we agree with that. But remember, but you got to understand, again,
I'm hurt, Brandon, because you know what, we missed out on 3 pairs of mics that could have came out that would have been so fire. Do you understand the niggas fucked up they fucked up everything, bro.
They did, but
do you understand the mics that would have dropped? Jordan, oh my God, no.
But you, again,
recycling bullshit, because this nigga want to sit down because the old white man swindled him. Fuck out of here, man.
Again, we got to understand, okay, well, if that's the case, and again, I'm not knocking him. He did what he wanted to do, but LeBron did go back to Cleveland to an owner that basically said,
"Nah, he pimped that nigga though. Nah, he pimped that
nigga." And to me, that was
he
nuts.
Made that nigga write an apology letter though. Nah, Jordan wouldn't be able to do no shit like that. He was like, "Yo, write me an apology letter, put it on Twitter." And nigga, write an apology.
I think we're selective. I think we're selective with dignity and integrity.
Sometimes.
Now, if you want to say, well, he went back for Akron, the Cavs don't play in Akron, they play in Cleveland. And at the end of the day, this man disrespected you not just to your face, but for the world to see. Now, the only way it could ever be even for me is if he sells me the Cavs. And I own them one day, eventually. But if that's not the case,
I think that's that nigga plan. The way he,
I think
he's gonna go and buy that shit. Like, I ain't gonna hold you up. Like, I ain't gonna.
But like, to me, I don't think I could have worked, because basically, I mean, you could call it partners. Nah, he owns a team. You're an employee. You work for that man. I don't know if I could have.
It was more like him, ego. Like, yo, my nigga, you like sports niggas are egotistical. They're some of the most egotistical niggas who play sports at the gym think they somebody.
Yeah, but there was no ego involved in that.
Wait a minute, Brando, you already know. If you in the league and you get a check and you got a name, nigga, man, please, man. Fuck you, man. So this is how his whole mind state, he may not come across like that, but he looking at me. I heard LeBron say out his own mouth, look straight in the camera, I'm the best player in the NBA. What you talking about?
No. What I mean, in that situation, where's the ego?
So, like, the ego is the reason why he went back. I left Cleveland a loser. And had to go team up with niggas.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he had his own personal agenda as to why he went back. So now, where does that stand in the hierarchy? Like, what's more important, your own personal goals for your legacy.
Or you gonna let this white nigga because he?
Right, you gonna let him stop that?
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Like he looked at it.
But hold on. That's cool. But then we can't criticize Jordan for standing on his beliefs. We can't criticize. We can't. If he feels like, listen,
you're right though. You're right though.
If he feels like, look,
you can choose.
This isn't for me. I'm not.
You're right. No, you're definitely right. It's sad. I'll just say it's sad. You're right, but I'll say it's sad. You're right.
Because at the end of the day, one man, and again, LeBron is passive aggressive as well. So are we going to criticize every move that Jordan makes or LeBron makes? At the end of the day, they're both flawed, and they both go about things differently.
But they all human.
Right. LeBron is more empowered.
Caught up in the
you got to understand. See, my issue with LeBron, and again, I don't want to come off as I'm defending every move Jordan made, because I honestly think some of the shit was a little sus. But I will say he laid the groundwork for these guys to be able to be this independent.
Of course.
And so
he showed you how not to do it, nigga. You know what I mean? He showed you how not to do it.
Right. Yeah, in a way, he showed you how not to do it. That's what you choose.
Because Jordan was being exploited. He was a nigga that just, like, as I look at it, he was being exploited his whole way out. Like, it wasn't until the later years he was like, all right, I'm going to have Jumpman. I'm going to own my logo.
I'm glad you said
later on, like, that nigga was a hoe. He just wanted to jump and let me jump.
I'm about to say, now I'm about to take one shot at Jordan. And this is something that I think is a little weird.
He learned ownership later. I say that.
I don't know why he doesn't have a small stake or piece in Nike, because he basically.
I'm Christian. No, he does. It's probably like. I don't know, bro. It's some.
He owns his own company that's funded by Nike.
Nah, that shit. I'm telling you, the way they do deals, there has to be some undisclosed fucking percentage he gets from Nike. Period. He built that fucking company.
Well, I mean, let's take it this way. Save. Was it the Jordan 12s, the first Jordans that went with Jumpman? Like, what was the first Jordans that took the Nike off the Jordan?
Oh, was it the 11s?
I think it might have been the 12s.
The 11s. You're right. Wait, the 11s?
11s. Yeah.
I don't think the 10s. The 10s didn't have a Nike.
No, the 10s. I think the 10s were the first ones.
The 10s.
Okay. All right.
No, I mean, because at one point in the midst of his career,
it just said Air Jordan.
Go on the fucking shoe. It was just a Jumpman.
Yeah, it said Air Jordan. That's just a fact. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, at that point, we could assume, we don't know because everything is not available to us like that. At some point, he may have been negotiating that shit behind the scenes, but it's different times now where we know everything. Everything is for us to see.
LeBron has a lifetime contract with Nike. Now that could be up to $1 billion, whatever. That's a great deal for him.
LeBron is already a billionaire, bro. That nigga a billionaire, like off the rip.
And what he's done, you know what I'm saying? I'll give him this. Dude is a smart businessman. I think the people he has around him did their thing. For Jordan, look, like you said, he had David Falk, white guy. Phil Knight,
he's a white man lover. Now, I ain't gonna hold you up. Nah, he only.
But what I'm saying is
that money shit. He only fuck with white people, bro.
But again, back then, I'll say this. Back then,
that was a model.
There weren't that many. In other words, he's the prototype, bro.
Right.
He's the blueprint. So when you have a blueprint,
in more ways than one. In more ways than one.
Right, it's a rough draft. So when you have a blueprint, remember, it's a rough draft. That's what it is.
Shit wrong, you're gonna do shit right.
LeBron started out. LeBron started out with Aaron Goodwin, I think, the Goodwin brothers or whatever. So he started out with some black dudes as his agents. Then he realized, like, nah,
I give my man my money. I give my man this money.
Right.
Back,
which was now, that was that to me was brilliant. Like looking back on the people saying, oh, like why would he? And they're gonna screw his career up. Nah, they helped us because now he keeps. Listen, Clutch, they can say what they want. Clutch is his shit.
Yeah, like we don't know what time it is. Like
like Clutch.
Like that's what I said. The boy got $1 billion on the low. And then the crazy shit about that, they loved him because we all grew up with each other. I'm gonna protect you, nigga. Like, you think I'm gonna let something happen to you? You know how important I know you are? You know how important this shit is? You think
so I think
so he's more satisfied with that. And that's
I will say this though, as a player in the league, if I'm not down with Clutch and I'm not really in his circle, I respect his independence and I respect the fact he kind of looks out. But I got a real problem with the fact that when it comes to competition, you kind of got a leg up because Rich, you know what I'm saying? Like it's to me, I think that's where the league, and somebody hear this and be like, well, nah, you want him to hold him down? Nah, there has to be some type of regulation. Because because come on the low, if you got a piece of Clutch and Rich Paul got Ben Simmons, Anthony Davis, Draymond Green, this one, that one, this one, like you kind of got the pick of the litter.
Right.
So
you close to all of the players, so chances are the aging can funnel players your way, which is what people think is happening.
Right. So to me, the league, because they listen, Adam
Silver. You know what's crazy? White people been doing that, bro. They've been doing that.
That's fair.
They've been doing that. So now niggas mad that this nigga doing it, or him and his peoples are doing that, or moving and such. They learned the game from those motherfuckers.
That's fair.
Man, in the market.
The white man been manipulating. I'm gonna tell you the white man's.
That's a fact.
In my opinion, the white man's greatest superpower is manipulation. I'm gonna manipulate this shit to get this shit. He don't have to be too smart. He don't gotta be strong. He don't gotta jump. He don't gotta do shit. I figure out the niggas who know how to do all that shit and manipulate them. Look, I got some gold, nigga. I got some motherfucking money, nigga. I got some. Come fuck with me. I'll make you rich, nigga.
But I could argue.
Manipulation, nigga.
I could argue that's not manipulation, because if he's telling you, bro, basically, if I got, in other words, I could be the shittiest person on earth, but if I got $1 billion, you gonna fuck with it.
Wow.
So basically,
without a word being said.
But that's the shit I don't understand. Wait a minute. You could be a fucking pedo. You could touch little babies' assholes. You could be a homo. You could be
wrong.
Wait, hold on.
Wrong.
I have nothing against the homosexual community because I actually like homosexuals. I do. They dress very nice, and you got to be strong. You got to be strong to be a homosexual. Like at the end of the day, people like to make fun and like to be jokes and all this shit. Like on some real shit, ain't too many niggas tougher than a confident homosexual. Like straight up, who's tougher than a confident homosexual? And they don't care that he's taking it in the rear, or don't care that they flex. They don't care what you say. They don't care what you say. And you know what? And I applaud them, and I love those ones. I don't like the undercover niggas.
Losing your point. You gotta grab your point back.
Point, yeah, man. You gotta.
Go ahead. Yeah, but this shit just wild.
So you can't even get to your point.
So I'll make it for him, man. So basically, I hear what you're saying. All I'm saying is, at some point, we gotta look at the integrity of the game. Yes, white people have been doing it, but at the same time, it goes back to power, who has it, and what it entails. If you got them, listen, the man that holds the gun holds the power. The man that has the gold.
I got a question for you, for both of you niggas right now. I got a question for 1, 2 right now, nigga. Do you think black people are too forgiving and too nice?
And that's subjective.
Yes.
What do you say? Wait, hold on.
As a whole?
Do you think black people are too forgiving and too nice?
I mean, you got to go with yes.
Yes or no? Like straight up. Think about as a whole, through history, through all the trials and tribulations.
Clearly.
Okay.
Based on history, clearly.
All right. So at what point do we as a whole be like, yo, it's not wrong to say I'm not fucking with you. It's not wrong. It's not wrong to be like, yo, I'm not fucking with y'all. Like, and the crazy thing is, because you know what? They all say to us. They're like, yo, we're not fucking with that one. We'll get them out of here. We're going to see if we get somebody else in here.
And again, you're right. And it goes back to power. In other words, Michael Jordan, if he wanted to, could hire 100 black people in his organization. Why? Because he has the power to do so. I think the issue is opportunity. That's the key. When you're white, a lot of times opportunities are afforded to you.
Right.
There's one black owner, I think, in the 4 major sports. One. So when you in a situation,
why he don't advocate and say like I'm an owner? Why doesn't he even speak up on the fact that he's a minority owner and how he may feel about him being an owner in that position and being the only black man? Do you speak on that? Do you? Because you don't have to be an advocate, but you just speaking on topics from your standpoint and your view gives a broader spectrum.
Well, we don't know if he's been asked that question. Now, if you want him to broach
closed doors at the moment.
Right now, if you want him to broach that question, that's one thing. Now, if you want him to, come out and make a statement like, but how does that even come off? Unless someone is asking you in an interview.
Right.
It's different if someone comes up to you and says, well, Michael, how do you feel about being the only, how does it make you feel to be the only major minority owner in sports? Then I'm pretty sure he'll give an answer like, I wish we had more, blah, 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 blah. But also, it's not even just ownership. It's entry positions. It's head coaches, assistant coaches, GMs. These guys that could change the system. Perfect example, LeBron. I'm sure when he gets the Cavaliers, because he's probably going to get them, Rich is going to be in there. Randy's going to be in there. Mav's going to be in there. Right. They going to hire more people that look like them, that look like us.
And it's not, hold on, and I just want to make this point. It's not just about hiring black people, because there's dumb black motherfuckers that we don't want around.
No. It's about empowerment, opportunity.
No, wait, hold on. But we're going to get the cream of the crop of people that are eligible and adequate for that position that are people of color. That's what I'm saying. Giving them an opportunity. Yeah. You're not just going to give motherfucking Raheem a job because he's black, but he's dumb.
No.
He can't count, and I don't want him around. And at the end of the day, he got to sit over there. So we're not talking about that.
No.
People get shit misconstrued and think, black people, some black motherfuckers are fucking need to go back to school.
Right. And here's the issue. I think the one issue I see is retreads. So you could be an awful GM, and if you're white,
you'll get another shot.
You'll continue to get another shot.
Yeah, but it's like that in all aspects. Because even in my job, you could be some white boy is not going to get laid off.
Yeah,
he's going to fucking keep his job.
But if you Joe Dumars, who I don't think was a great GM, but still, he led. Right. He hasn't had a job in what?
Underneath his realm, right? He got a chip underneath his realm.
He got a chip. He got 2 finals under.
Niggas don't do that. So people don't do that. So then, why doesn't he have a job? You're right.
And that's why it looks sus.
Yeah. So it all comes down to opportunity. Like, opportunities lead to actual progress, but it's all about the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And that goes with anything. Remember, Roe versus Wade. Brown versus education.
Yes, sir.
Back in the 50s. If you put people in position to succeed, more oftentimes than not, they'll succeed, or at least they'll have the opportunity to succeed. The difference is we're not put in positions to succeed, and no matter what, they'll be put in a position to succeed or fail.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We're not put in the positions to even fail.
To even try. Yeah, that's a fact. They look at you and think you can't before you even try. You can't. Look, it's impossible. That's a fact.
Barack Obama has master's degrees from Columbia, NYU, and I forgot the other schools.
School of Hard Knocks? No, probably not.
That too. That nigga from
Southside Chicago.
That nigga from Chirac, nigga. That nigga from the School of Hard Rocks. And it's Hard Knocks, nigga.
So his credentials are impeccable.
and they still talk about him like he fucking packed groceries
George
at
Bush
Walmart.
was a C student at Yale, I believe. But the fact that he has the name, the cachet, he was afforded the opportunity to fuck up. We're dealing with an idiot right now that's afforded the opportunity to fuck up.
You know the crazy thing is though, why so many people say, you know, I've seen some dudes, I'm not gonna say their names, but they of our age, and niggas is really out here supporting Trump. Niggas out here like, yo, and got my vote and all that shit, like, and I'm like,
There's more people out there than you think, but I don't really know politics, so I can't really speak on that.
No, it's definitely more people than you think. But I'm not even talking about on the politics. One thing I could say in the words of my man Dave Chappelle, he said the same aspect you said. I don't really talk on politics, but I do speak on character. If the motherfucking character look twisted, I really don't. I'm not giving you my vote, bro. See, your character's kind of twisted. I'm not really comfortable with saying yay for you.
That's a fact.
So, and that's what I'm saying in that regard.
A politician is like a used car salesman, man.
There you go.
They're there to sell you on their vision and their view.
No,
like all the different
your views, whatever piques your fucking.
Every political party, they may have different ways of going about it, but they all saying the same shit. They all want the same shit.
We're not just getting into politics because this shit gonna carry us, man. We gotta shake up out of here before they kick us out of here.
All right.
I mean, definitely had a great conversation. Xavier's on his fourth blunt.
We in here, man. Playing, nigga. We talking, we vibing, we kicking it. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. But you know, what I mean, I want niggas to get a chance to.
Brought to you by that peanut butter cake. Holla back.
Yeah, this nigga go. Yo, for cultural purposes only, man. We got to wrap.
For real, man.
It's a great conversation.
Until next time, regular Mike, Dr. B, Andrew Dice.
Next episode, I'm gonna get these niggas to smoke weed, y'all. Check us out. We're gonna all.
Yo, don't even look out for that, cause y'all gonna be disappointed, man. But yo,
smoke weed. How about that? You know what I'm saying? We're going all the way up.